Hello everyone. Today we will learn about singleton design pattern. And singleton design pattern is a most commonly used design pattern. And in this video, we will go through the definition, different features, and on top of that, we will go through a practical example that how to implement singleton design pattern. So without wasting a time, let's start the video. So what is the singleton design pattern? Well, as per the definition, the singleton pattern ensures a class has only one instance and provides a global point of access to it. And its purpose is to control object creation, ensuring only one instance exists for the entirety of the application. So in other words, a singleton class is that allows only a single instance of itself to be created and usually gives a simple access to that instance. Now let's jump into the practical example that how we can implement a singleton pattern. So here we have created a sample project called singleton example, and in this project we have two classes, logger.cs and program.cs. So let's open the logger.cs class. So first of all, logger.cs class is the best candidate to create as a singleton class, because logger class, what it does is it logs all the messages and events into the system. And so to maintain all the logging of the application, for every request we should not be creating an instance of the logger class every time. In place of that, an instance should be available to log all the messages into the system, and this will definitely speed up the process. Now to make this logger class as a singleton class, first we have created a variable called instance, which is of logger type class, and it's static and private. Next we have created an object called lock, which is of type object, and it's read only, static and private. So we see how these variables are used below in the method called getInstance. Next we have created a private constructor of this class. Private constructor means this class instance cannot be created outside this class. For example, if we try to create an instance like logger obj logger goes to new logger, so here we can create an instance without any problem. But if we try to do the same in outside the class, for example in the program.cs, if we try to create an instance of the logger class, we will get an error called inaccessible due to protection level, which means that if we make any class with the private constructor, then this class instance cannot be created outside this class. Next we have created a method called getInstance, which returns logger type class, and it's static and public. So what this method does is, whenever any outside class call this method, it first check whether the instance of this class has been created or not. If it is not created, then this instance variable will be null. And in the next step we have used lock. So what lock basically does is, suppose you have 1000 requests comes at the same time, and what happens is, whenever the first request it gets access to this code block, the other request has to wait until and unless the first request execution has been completed. So in that case, the first request comes here, it checks here whether the instance of this class is already been created or not. If it is not created, so it creates the instance of this class, and then this returns will be returned back to the caller class. For the next request, again it comes inside this lock, and then again he is checking the instance is null or not. But as the previous request has already been executed and the instance of this class has been created, so in that case it will come out of this if section and it will return the same instance of this object. So this is the whole functionality of getInstance method. Next we have created a method called log, which take message as a input string, and it returns wide and it's public. So basically what this method does is it simply take message and it write into the console by console.writeLine. But in actual application, this log method write the logs either in SQL Server or in text file, or there can be other methods to write into the permanent storage. But here, as it is just an example, so we are just writing into the console. Next we see that how this log method will be used. So let's open the program.cs file. So here we see that logger.getInstance method is called, and as we have already gone through that getInstance method, what it does is it simply check whether the instance of this class is created or not, and if it is not created, it create that instance of this class and return back to the caller class, and if it is already created, return the same instance which is already been created. So here, as we are calling this get instance method, so we returns the logger class instance and we are assigning this to logger1, and similarly we are here calling this method again and we are assigning this to logger2, and for both the methods we are calling this method log and passing this message. As we have already seen that whatever message we pass, it will write this message into the console. So we are calling this method twice for log1 and log2 instances, and at this line we are checking whether the reference of these two logger1 and logger2 are equal. So if it is true, means they both are same object, they are not different, which makes sure that only one instance is created and the second time the same instance has been returned to the caller class. So let's run this program and see what it does. So we have run this program, and yeah, for first call, as the instance is null, then it's creating a new instance, and when it pass through, it will simply display in the console. So we see there, this is the output that we receive. So here we can see that we call this log method and we entered this message. So this message has been returned into the console. This is the first log message. Similarly, this is the second log message which is returned into the console because of this message that is provided. And here for reference equal, it has checked and it returns true, which means that they both logger1 and logger2 are same references, which means that only one instance is created whenever this get instance method is called. So basically this is the whole example how to create a singleton class. So this ensures that only one instance of this logger class is created. At this final stage, we will summarize whatever we have learned in this video. First of all, singleton pattern. As per definition, it ensures that a class has only one instance and provide global access to it, which means in any application, a singleton class can have only one instance, and that one instance will be accessible throughout the application. Next, we have C# implementation. So we use a private constructor and static method to make a class a singleton and to control the object creation. Next, we have thread safety, which always ensures thread safe implementation in multi-threaded environment. As we have already discussed, that suppose there are 1,000 requests comes at the same time, and just to make sure that only one instance is created, we use lock and lazy technique to prevent more than one instance. So this is called thread safety. If you really like this video, please provide your comments, and if something is missed or you want any other information, please comment, like and subscribe. Thanks very much for watching this video.